1 skin, 2 skin, 3 skin, and 4. Oh, hello there. You've just caught me counting my skin tones. In this video, we're going to check out some Oldhammer Ork releases.
Scifiwargamers.
Greetings, hobby fans. My name's Marcel, and it's my mission to help you explore the hobby. So today we're checking out some Oldhammer Ork releases, and these ones are the Ork Heavy Weapons, sculpted by Kev Adams, released in April 1988, I think. But before we take a look, please be sure to like and subscribe. That means you, Matthew. If you enjoy the content on this channel, then please consider joining the Patreon, the link to which is in the description below. And if you do, I will love you forever. Let's jump in.
Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader. Ork Heavy Weapons. So these are the first heavy weapons sets for the Orks for Rogue Trader, and these were released in April 1988, and these figures were designed by Kev Adams, and I have to say that Kev Adams is my favourite Ork sculptor. So the Ork heavy weapons came with 3 options of heavy weapon. There was a missile launcher, which you can see here, which actually is a rather large rocket sat on top of a rail system. You can hardly make it out there, but it took me a while to realise exactly what was going on in the rocket launcher, or missile launcher I could say. Next up there is a heavy plasma gun, which does actually look like a contemporary plasma gun, even though this guy is mounted on the shoulder. Also of note, the old heavy plasma guns look about the size of an Imperial normal plasma gun, which I find quite interesting. And lastly, the Orks could be equipped with a flamer. And the heavy flamer I think is one of the coolest looking heavy weapons for the Orks ever. I do like the look of these. These flamers look a lot different to the Imperial versions, and I really want to get one of the Oldhammer flame tanks, purely because I love this flamer style. Anyway, let's have a look at the Orks that were released. So first off, in the Orks heavy weapon set, there's an Ork without a heavy weapon. Yep, he has just got a plasma gun, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on this. And then next up, another Ork without a heavy weapon, which I find very strange considering this is supposed to be a heavy weapons release. Anyway, this guy's a little bit different to the first one, as he's not wearing a metal hat. So, moving on, we have our first heavy weapon Ork, and this is a guy with a flamer, and he has a bolt pistol in his left hand and a lovely pair of wellies. Notice that flamer is one of the awesome style flamers, and I think this Ork is tremendous. Next up, we have an Ork with a plasma gun. The pose is very similar to the previous Ork, although this time his pistol is pointing towards the floor rather than to the side. So that's a big difference there. He also seems to be wearing the same metal hat as the previous Ork, but this guy has a few pouches around his waist. Now it's a slightly different one next for the rocket launcher, even though earlier on they call it the missile launcher. So already we have interchangeable names. Rocket launchers, missile launchers, call them what you like. This guy is not wearing a metal hat, and you can see looking at that rocket launcher, it took me a while to work out exactly what was going on, and it was only when I saw the 2D art I did realise that that big rectangular section is just the launch rail, and the missile sits on top of it. But I do like the look on this Ork's face. Next up, another similar sculpt, but this Ork is a bit angrier than the previous Ork. He is baring his teeth there, and he is also equipped with one of the best ever flamer sculpts in the game. Moving on, we have another similar sculpt, and this guy is carrying the heavy plasma gun. However, he has that awesome 80s shoulder pad style, you know, it looks a bit like a tortoise shell, and he also has a mohawk. Now, did Orks have hair, or is this a hair squig? If you know what it is, let us know in the comments below. Also note that we've moved on to some colour photos now. I guess Games Workshop decided these two last minis were worth spending the extra half a penny on. And finally, we have another orc with a rocket launcher, and he's a kind of plain bear looking sculpt there. Nothing exciting going on, although he might have something in his left hand. I can't see what it is. He also appears to be wearing a hairband on his head. I'm not entirely sure what that is. But in this picture you can see quite clearly the missile sitting on the launch rail, and that is an awesome orc heavy weapon.
So there you have it, Kev Adams' old 1988 orc heavy weapons teams. What did you think of these sculpts? Did you have any of these sculpts? Do you want any of these sculpts? Do you like Oldhammer Orks? Let us know in the comments below. If you want to see some more Oldhammer videos, and I know you do, then check out the playlist up here somewhere. Thanks for watching, and drill your barrel.